All right, is this thing on? Here we go. This is OGL 343, Module 1. It's Monday, what is it, October 18th, 2021 at about 1, no, 2 o'clock. We've hit 2 o'clock. And I've got some notices here. Venezia won. Those Venezia fans. Serie A. Okay, OGL 343. You're my third video, 3 classes, 3 lectures, 3 videos. Let's see if I can finally get one right. Hey, if you have any missing Easter eggs, when you send me your Easter eggs and you notice a couple days later, if I said thank you, 10 points, whatever, and you never got them, let me know. If you got them and then a couple weeks later you didn't, you disappeared, let me know. Sometimes things happen. I'm not trying to keep you on your toes, okay? By the way, you can save your resources, okay? If there's attachments, save them, for your own uses later on, right? Just want to make sure you know that. You get to keep those, right? Uh, let's look at the overview for this module. There's an overview. It's really long. Learning objectives. Then let's move on to reading materials. All right, let me skip to the blind men and the elephant. A couple different ways to read that. Just take a look at that and you'll get it pretty quick. It's kind of an old fable. And then we've got MTT, making the team, trying to get on that University of Wisconsin rowing team. Hooah. No, what do they say at UW Wisconsin? They jump around, third quarter into third quarter. All right. I read these because I just got this book. So I read chapter 1, chapter 5, and chapter 12, which are assigned. And oh my God, it was awesome. It was just so awesome. I loved it. Let me just try to see if I got any quick notes on these. For chapter 1, I don't know what that means. What's that? I don't know what that means. Uh, just kidding. All right, let's see. Well, I guess I didn't have much in there. I guess I'm supposed to look at what I wrote, huh? What I highlighted in chapter 1. I highlighted a bunch of stuff, types of teams. Okay, and it was really good. I mean, teams versus groups. I highlighted a lot of stuff, and that's to me benefit me. Please go ahead and do that. Multi-generational teams. There's so much in here, and teams are essentially social processes, right? Because socially we do. There's social. It's a process. I mean, yes, there's social interaction, there's social connection, there's social in all types of organizations, but in terms of social processes, yes, yes, teams, right? Manager-led teams. It's really good. I've read every word of this, and there's so much good stuff in here. 1, 5, and 12. Let's see. Boy, I took some notes here, and they mean nothing to me right now. Uh, okay, but read them. Let's see. Wait. Let's see. Chapter 5. Wow, it's interesting. Talk about teams, performance, like teams. What teams you've been on? What teams have I been on? Talking about pool shooting. Talk about I've been on bowling teams. Back in the late 70s and 80s, I was turning pro. I averaged 236 bowling, but I was in Milwaukee. I was a lefty, and I had some of the top names of proprietors, and people were telling me, "You're the hottest lefty out there right now in Milwaukee." That's saying a lot. And I was sponsored by my boss at the time, and I actually had to shave my beard, cut my sideburns so they wouldn't be lower than my earlobe. That was a weird thing, right? They had a code to be part of that, to be part of the bowling, pro bowlers, be a team. I was in the Correctional Emergency Response Team, CERT, the CERT, the first one that was made for Milwaukee County in the corrections facilities. Um, I was chosen to be part of the CERT, and we had to do some additional heavy duty training. Uh, Obviously, law enforcement, chain of command, lots of report writing, lots of things you had to be careful of course, lawsuits. It wasn't like Sheriff Joe in Phoenix, but and then when I became a sergeant, I became a CERT team leader, which made it a lot of pressure to make some choices and decisions on when to go in, when to, and we had to quell some potential riotous situations, and I had to cut down, 3 men who were, trying to, you know, kill themselves in jail. None of them died; they all lived. So being a team can be stressful, especially making decisions. Um, Drivers, there's team drivers, right? Out on the road, they switch off. Faculty, we have a team basically where I'm part of and when I was a tech job at Insight, I was a senior account manager and I had a little mini team. And actually with refugees, I mean, in the refugee environment that I worked, teams, case managers, employment people, orientation, mentors, there's all kinds of people make up a team and each one of those interactions. Now, chapter 12, it's kind of outdated already, isn't that? I mean, that's how fast these things move. Talk a lot about Skype. Skype. It's almost like saying, "Hey, MySpace, check it out." No, I got AOL. Um, I know they're not the same thing. Skype, nothing about Zoom, but they talk about. It's interesting because how fast it get outdated, and let's just say that if you're the typical junior, senior in college at a certain particular age, and I know that we have plenty of mature students here, students that are much older in the workforce, things like that. Um, but it's funny, you're still young to me, of course, and how things are changing and the status quo, what's normal, because they talk a lot about virtual and how that but we're doing virtual all the time now, right? So the whole paradigm is shifted to being uh, accepting this. This is the way it is now. We're not looking at each other eye to eye in an office or in a classroom, even. When I go to the classroom, I'll be teaching this in the classroom in spring. It's going to be mind blowing. I haven't been to spring in 2 years, right? Yeah, 2 years. So, okay. So, and it's important, obviously, knowing the difference between virtual work and social media. But younger people today, this is like something special. You just adapt and you move into the new normal. For people my age, maybe a little younger, we've grown up and dealt with things different. Somebody yelling in my hallway. Okay, so did I say this? You can already ask me anything. Ask me anything you want about the class. I'm wide open for questions, comments, concerns, phone calls, Zooms, anything. All right. Remember I told you last week, this is our class. Okay. I don't want to get buried on the evaluation, which I need you to do at the end of the class. But, saying that this guy didn't know squat about anything, because I do. Damn it, I know a lot. Okay. Um, let's do, did we do Easter egg one? Yeah, did we? I'll double check. Easter egg one was read the text. Okay. Easter egg one is read the text, just in case I missed that. All right. Do the readings, right? Okay. Whew, almost missed it. All right. Now, Uh, okay, the chapter probably needs to be rewritten, updated. That's fine, whatever. All right, so let's go to quick Easter egg number two. Society changes rapidly. Society changes rapidly is Easter egg number two. I think we need to remember that because some of you that are, maybe just emerging into society, getting your first taste of it, uh, it just keeps changing, right? I remember when I got into tech sales back in 1997, September 27th, first day on the sales floor. I remember getting these accounts and people are buying, were they buying 30 meg hard drives or something? They were buying floppy disks and they were buying, and then they would, and I always thought, well, they just bought, 3 hard drives or, a gig. They're not going to need anything else from me. What else are they going to need from me? I was like, I need 15 terabytes. We need, I still have a client, by the way, who's up until about a year or so ago, they were still ordering, every now and then they would order floppy disks, 3.25, not 5.5 at least. But they would order, is it 3.5 or 5.25? I guess that's what it is. They would order the floppy disks, and because they had some old machines in a steel plant, East Coast. But I told them, I said, these things are really getting expensive because I have to like buy them from museums. That's exaggeration, of course, but that's how kind of way it was going, right? But society always changes, so we know that, right? And that was just illustrative in the tech industry. And thanks for wasting your time. Sorry. All right, so now let me just jump to the audio visual. There's a PowerPoint attached as a resource. The audiovisual, Dr. Emily Mertz, love her. She's part of our, she's a colleague, great. She's the one narrating it. It's about 46 minutes long. The quiz should follow, probably should take it right away. It's 25 multiple choice, 25 points, and it's 60 minutes you get to do it. But I would take it right after you, so allot the time. I would take take it right after and have the PowerPoint up even. I don't know. Okay, so then there's discussion board. The original one made me cringe, because whenever if I see the verbiage, for example, hey, you might notice in this video that, or this topic, that there's some what do they call it? Politically incorrect statements made in here. I hope you probably won't even notice. Well, yeah, you will. You just told me and you wrote it down. So I got rid of everything. I just changed the discussion board to be like, you'll see. It's more about telling me why you're here. What do you think? What do you want to get out of this? Why'd you choose it? Okay. So check it out. I'd like to hear from you. It'll help me too, by the way. So I changed that. So let's talk about, there's an essay then. Essay is do one of the three prompts. Used to be 2 out of 3. I want it to be 1 of 3. It's pretty clear how I want it. Formatting needs to be correct. If you bomb the formatting, I'll kick it back to you and have you redo it. Okay? So if you're, I don't know if you get your grades on your phone, you go, the guy gave me a 10%. No, I gave you 0. No, that doesn't mean you're stuck with it. Okay, it means you need to get a hold of me and we'll talk about what you need to do. But Times New Roman, 12-point font, double line spacing, Word doc, docx only, paragraph indents, a lot of them, enough of them. Okay, be organized, use in-text citations correctly, APA formatting, do a works cited list correctly in hanging paragraph format, double line space, no line gap between entries. Go to Purdue OWL APA formatting if you need to see. That's how I learned. I learned how to format a paper when I was 52 and a half years old, probably, maybe 53. All right, you got this. I could teach myself, you can teach yourself, okay? And I'll prod you along. There's a writing service or writing center through ASU that's free. You just look them up on the ASU site. You can set up an appointment. I do not pre-grade grades. I do not do that, okay? Let's see. So that should be good. But again, if you're going to wait until it's due, let's see, Sunday morning you get up a little hungover, but let's check it out. Holy crap, I got to do a paper. I know a lot of you are going to do it that way. That's just life in a big city. But don't expect to really blow me away and impress me, because I can tell if it's like stream of consciousness stuff that you're just trying to cover things. I don't use rubrics, by the way. I don't. Too bad for you. I don't use rubrics. Why? Rubrics, what's that, a ceiling? Rubrics give you a ceiling because you know why? All you do is I got to check this and this and this and this. Then I'm done. Submit it. I get an A. No! Show me what you got. Don't make it too long. Don't make it too short. Right in the sweet spot. Okay? Impress me with content, quality. Okay? Spelling, grammar, all those good things that you came to college for, right? All right, here's what I want to talk about as I move into the next page here. Team project overview. Yes, there's teams, like I said. Here's the dealio. Who would use the word dealio? I never did teams. I want to do team discussion board, team this, team that. I need volunteers, a couple, few. I need volunteers to set up an appointment with me by phone when you have your computer. I have my computer. We can either Zoom it. We can do just by phone. I want to see, kind of like, remember Alexander Graham Bell? And he said something to his assistant, come here, I need you, or something. That's what I want you to, I want you to see if the Dixie cups work, I want to know if I set this up right before we move into this team stuff, that we're set up technically right, and I understand. And this will be good if I can get a couple of volunteers to do so, okay? And try to set you up with yours. You tell me what you're seeing in terms of discussion board. Is it working? Is it not working? I don't even know if that's the right question to be asking because I haven't done this before. And none of my colleagues seem to know. Isn't that wonderful? So if you help me out, yes, I will kick a few extra points your way. You can be assured of that. All right. How many? I have no idea. But I don't like to bribe. I just want people to help. Please help me. Okay, so it's important that the team that we get done with all that that we can set that up for teams because I like the idea. I got some, like I said, I got 6 teams, 5 people in each, stretched it all over the map. By the way, let me look while I got you at your, what am I at, 343? Let me see. Did I check the response of how we're looking in this class? All out of all the enrollees, only one person hasn't shown up yet, hasn't done anything. Other than that, everybody's done the academic agreement, integrity agreement, and the syllabus quiz. And got a couple of sixes in there, but mostly eights out of eight. The video, it looks like only one, two, three, four, five, 6 people did not watch the first video. That's too bad. In terms of introduction, everybody showed up. That's cool. I'm still, well, not everybody, a few missing, but I'm still scoring those. And by the way, those introductions, I know I threw that up in the last minute and I didn't have it set up too well, but you guys did a great job. It was good to see where you are, who you are, feel more comfortable and actually giving me some information about yourself instead of me hitting blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. How do you pronounce that? Okay, so thanks again for that. The songs are always interesting. I particularly love the songs that are very poignant, that are about, hey, my dad used to play this in the car, or, it's Billy Joel, Vienna, I got Pink Floyd here, I got this, and I'm like, oh, that was so good back when it came out, I was there. And then you got like Chance the Rapper, is that a thing? I mean, it's fine. I appreciate it all. It's so hard to choose, right? If I post one song, everybody's like, oh my God, this is the hardest thing ever. I know it. It's an interesting exercise, and you realize, because somebody asked me my favorite song to post, I have no clue unless, I would have to have oh my God, that's a good question. I've never been asked that myself. If I had my, um, somebody asked me about that, and I can't even tell you, but I would say that I have a massive amount. I've been doing, hey kids, I've been doing iTunes since 2000, since the first iPod. I was working in technology. Apple came and they set up a booth at Insight where I was working. We were coming in. I was looking. I was like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever." There was the box. She was showing it. I was like, "Oh my God!" I had a dream. I typed this out like in the '90s about how I needed like a watch with everything. I needed something with everything. I needed something. And she probably could tell the excitement. I probably got drool on her. But I was so excited about it, and it was funny because we were put in for a drawing, and we worked in these big stadiums, no cubicles, like big stadiums, all desks. She was at the bottom at lunch, and she pulled my name, Michael Fair. I got a free iPod, the first one. The little circle you spin around and press the button, and oh my God, I was in heaven. Back then, it was so weird, all the little players on the line and things, and then I had all my CDs, and I still have. Look at that's cassettes, kids. I finally narrowed those down. This thing is resting on a turntable. I finally to get one back, and I think some of you might have seen my albums from the '70s, '70s and '80s. Um, so I had a lot of stuff. I had 90 CDs or what I put on, and then I bought in thousands. So I probably have about 15,000 songs on my system, but I love them. I couldn't choose one. That's weird. I couldn't choose one. So thank you for doing that. 1915, the year I was born. No. All right, looks good. Some of you already taken a quiz. Some of you are doing a discussion. We're moving right along. Crazy. Good for you. All right, but do those readings. It's pretty exciting. I liked reading that. Formatting, I think I talked about, right? Easter egg number 3. Allow for the time needed. Allow for the time needed. That may be grammatically clumsy. I don't know. What I'm saying is that, again, if you get up Sunday, you hung over and you look and you say, I got to write this paper. No, think about what you're going to write before you do the readings, before you do stuff, and take appropriate notes on a Word doc and do an outline and get it done. I mean, it's up to you, of course. And frankly, I might not have done it that way too often, but that's the way to do it. Okay. I mean, I'm kind of a writer in nonfiction and uh, nonfiction and fiction. And yeah, it's a challenge. I went through that master class, by the way, well, online master class with all the authors and stuff. It was pretty fun. All right, I'll let you go. Get a hold of me again if you can volunteer to. We could set up something to work both of us. We could talk about this team thing. Like I said, I'd really appreciate maybe three people helping me out on that just to confirm, triple confirm. All right. So until next week, that's it already, huh? Forks up. All right. On the crest. Peace.